Blackwater Marsh presents.
The first rule, of course, is all players must have a signed waiver to play. If you have not, you can do so online. And if you're not sure where that is, please ask one of our staff to help you. We can guide you to that. We are a semi-auto, milsim-like, medium-range airsoft field, which means that all guns must be on semi-auto only unless you're running a certain class of weapon. Your gun must be on safe, no magazine in your gun, and a barrel sock on at all times until you're in an active play area. Full seal eye protection is required. You must have it on at all times when in an active play area. And rental equipment must be treated with respect. Any observed abuse will lead to us taking the rental back and not issuing any refund. We do have a VIP program that you can earn badges for. You must keep any badge that you earn to yourself and not give any away. If you are seen giving away badges or colluding with other players to earn achievements, we reserve the right to remove you from that achievement program and you cannot earn any achievements. Respect other people's belongings. Do not touch or pick up anybody else's stuff without first asking permission. And also make sure not to take anybody else's stuff. Stealing from the field will result in an immediate ban of any players. All equipment, including guns and other weapons, must be chronographed. We use .32 BBs and we use joules. All guns are capped at a 25 round per second limit if they have the capability of going full auto. Rifles have a 1.49 joules or under limit. Under semi-auto, they have no minimum engage distance, and they cannot have any drum or box mags, extended triggers, or binary triggers. For all other rifle requirements, such as SMGs, LMGs, snipers, please see the full list of detailed requirements. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us. We also have the joule limits down here for each class weapon. Remember, if you do choose to bring a different class weapon other than rifle, make sure you know all the requirements, the joule limits, the engagement distance, and the additional requirements. If you are caught breaking any of these, we will ask you to not use those weapons and to only use rifle class weapons. Melee weapons are allowed, but they must be foam or soft rubber only, and you only need to touch the player with the weapon. You don't need to hit them with it. Physical contact between players of any kind is not allowed, so no touching your opponent. It has to be with a melee weapon only. Grenades are allowed, and approved pyrotechnics such as Enola Gay and Tag In are allowed on the field. If the grenade has a sound element, it has a 20-foot kill radius when it is detonated, unless the player is fully behind cover. If any part of their body is exposed in a 20-foot radius between them and the grenade, they are dead. If it is a BB expulsion only grenade, they have to be hit by the BBs themselves, and players can only throw grenades through doorways or windows. They cannot throw them over buildings or over walls. The only exception to this is that they are able to throw a grenade over castle wall, but must be up against it before throwing it. Smoke grenades are also allowed, but you cannot throw them inside of structures because that is a choking hazard. Going on to field rules. First rule is don't be stupid. If you have any doubt in your mind what you're about to do is stupid, don't do it. This includes climbing trees, horseplay, jumping over a ravine, etc. Watch your footing for sinkholes and sudden drops. Our field is pretty flat, but it does have areas that do wash out. That causes small little gullies that you could put your foot in and twist an ankle, so be very careful around that. Only approved 6mm airsoft BBs are allowed on our field, and they must be biodegradable. Any BB that is used that is above the weight of .40 must be approved by Blackwater Marsh personnel. If there is a real-world emergency, players will yell out either a code word Canada or blind man. If you hear that word yelled, that means the game is immediately put on pause and we get to that player and get them off the field. This is for real world emergencies only, and only if you need immediate medical attention. Listen and understand each game type rule. We go over each game type and the rules at the beginning of the game. If you don't understand them, please ask us. You are required to understand the rules as you play out at the field, and do not abuse any of the rules or try to manipulate them to an unfair advantage. Call your hits. Any hit on your body renders you dead. So make sure you call them out, raise your hand or pull out a dead rag, and make sure that you are vocally calling them out, not just walking off with your hand up. If you do see players that aren't calling their hits, don't scream out, call your hits across the field or any other sort of derogatory remark. If you do suspect somebody, please just try to get an idea of who they are and then bring it to our attention and we'll handle it from there. No blind firing. Blind firing means that you're putting your gun around a corner or up above your head. You must have your gun in your shoulder vicinity at all times, and you must be able to look down the sight as you're firing and seeing where your BBs are going. Ricochets and gun hits don't count as a kill, but be sure that if you do get hit with a ricochet or it does hit your gun, that you call out gun hit or ricochet to make sure that you let players know you're not cheating. No firing through small gaps or cracks. A player can only shoot through windows or doorways, and they cannot shoot through anything that is skinnier than basically the width of your hand. You can shoot through pallets, but shooting through small cracks between plywood or shooting gaps between doors is not allowed. Players may surrender, but don't have to. If a player finds themselves up behind another player, they may ask that player to surrender, but that player can choose to turn around and try to shoot that other player. So if that happens, just go ahead and shoot them. There is no bang bang rule or any sort of that nature. We're out here to shoot each other and have fun. Dead men tell no tales. So if you are dead or waiting for a medic, going back to respawn, or the like, you cannot tell your teammates or anybody for that matter where an enemy is located, who has what objective, and so on. Lasers on guns are only allowed during night games, and shining lasers into people's eyes or any sort of malicious action such as that will result in you losing the right to use a laser and may result in you being asked to leave. For any night games we play, you must have a tracer unit and tracer BBs. Those can be rented for us if need be, and we highly recommend using a flashlight. Friendly fire does count as a kill, so don't shoot your teammates. No spawn camping. So that means when a player is leaving spawn, they should not be being shot at. A player leaving spawn is being shot at, that means they're spawn camping. A player can still be around a spawn area. They just cannot be shooting at players as they leave spawn. And most importantly, have fun. Remember, this is Airsoft, and we're all out here to have fun, and it's much more honorable to call your hits than to not call your hits and then be labeled as a cheater. We hope you have fun today, and please let us know if you have any issues, and we'd be happy to resolve them. Thanks for watching.